I was like, this is so legit. Now I get to wear one of my favorite saints on my legs. And I was like, this has got to be a thing.
Legs. Yes.
On my legs. Watch out. And so
we got to work on your word choices.
Now? You're going to start now?
Yeah,
I would generally think feet when I'm talking about socks.
Yeah, nobody
Just me.
Nobody.
It goes on the calves too.
There's like a sticky side to the sock. You just slap it on your leg. Like, apply generously.
Scott, I'll be over here while you do the show with these two guys.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to The Beatitudes, a podcast for Christian men seeking to grow in holiness through humor and seeking to serve the Lord in fraternity, authentic fraternity. And so we are here today. Well, first of all, I should start off by saying my name is Paul Kolker.
Hey, Paul Kolker.
Hey,
Paul Kolker.
Jeff Scheffelbein. I'm joined by Jeff.
Hey, buddy. It's good to be near you.
Near, yes, quite near, in fact. Yes, and Nick Besner.
I'm Nick Besner.
That's what he is.
You have gotten more creative with those intros every time.
Hey. I'm Nick.
It's a regression of intros.
And we
Changing it up.
Yes, we are already in the thick of it. This is fantastic. Yes, welcome back. It's another fun episode, but we have an extra special guest today.
We do.
Yes, that's right. He was just trying to hold our hands during prayer, which, you know, is
Communal.
communal.
I heard fraternity.
Fraternity. So naturally you would think,
Let's hold hands.
Let's
during the
hold
Our Father.
We're not one of these groups that judges if you do or don't hold hands during the prayer before a podcast. I don't know what the canon says. I just know that we didn't do it.
You know,
with
my
you.
eyes were closed and I felt called to put my arm around you, but I don't know you that well. I just felt I wasn't sure if I should. I guess I should have.
well, it's not in violation of canon law, so I think we could have gone either direction on that. But Scott Williams of Sacrilegious, that's right, the man, the myth, the discalced Carmelite himself. No, he's not actually of a religious order, but he is here. We've been supporting him, sponsoring him with our own link. We've got the Beatitudes link on his website, so sacrilegious.com/Beatitudes to get a 10% discount on his socks. But this is the man who clothes all of our feet, so I'm pretty sure that's a corporal work of mercy to clothe the unsocked foot.
The naked foot.
The naked foot. Yes, that's incredible. Well, welcome to the show.
It is a joy and an honor to be here.
Awesome. Well, it's a joy and honor to have you here. I have spoken to you for like the last few years on the radio show, and
right.
I've never met you in person.
Here I am.
Yes.
Do you ever meet somebody, Paul, and you say, let's sit together facing one direction for the next hour?
Yeah. Well, it's very Leonardo da Vinci, The Last Supper, right? We're all on the same side of the table.
It very much is.
Yeah.
And who does that make you?
More like Jesus.
Well, I think that's you in this case.
We're all leaning towards you.
Yeah.
Oh, you should put your head on him.
I'm John the beloved disciple, yes, in this arrangement, not in reality. Just to be clear for anybody who maybe only caught that part, I'm not blaspheming. Just want to be clear. Wow.
It's good to be with you. And I got to say this, you have made my life cozy and tozy through all your socks.
Jeff, you're not talking to your 7 children. These are adult men that are here.
So cozy.
Cozy and tozy.
They're good socks. I'll take that as a compliment.
This is all fair. I
love
deserve exactly what you just said to me. Scott, like many people on our show, entered my life by me entering deep into his life before he was ready.
Did you do the point? You're like, we're friends.
It was the social media point. So
It's
much,
pretty close to that.
Yeah.
brother Scott, we were going back and forth. I was on a road trip, so I had plenty of time. My wife loves to drive. And at one point in the back and forth, he says, to be clear, I'm not looking for investors.
So he knew. He could sniff it out.
Bro, I'm not trying to invest. Remember this? I was like, I
do,
just
yeah.
want you to succeed.
I just want 1%.
Yeah, I don't want to put any money in. I just want money out.
That's it. That's a reasonable request. No, but so for those of you listening, you need to know that if you don't want Jeff Scheffelbein to unexpectedly enter your life, you have to file a preemptive restraining order. It's the only way.
But also, you're you're wrong.
but also you're wrong because you should want him to enter your life.
Thank you, Scott, my favorite
I agree with that.
person at the smallest table in America.
Wow. Well, we're here every time.
I
so
do.
of course
I actually
the new
love you
person-
guys. Just right now, he's being the nicest to me.
He's very, yeah.
Oh, don't play the victim.
I literally bought a pair of socks, maybe through Facebook or something. I don't remember what this was. This was like
Yeah.
your first month. And I was like,
Pretty
this,
close.
it was Pope JP2.
Yep.
I was like, this is so legit. Now I get to wear one of my favorite saints on my legs. And I was like, this has got to be a
On my
thing.
legs.
Yes.
On my legs. Watch out. And so
we got to work on your word choices.
now you're going to start now?
Yeah,
I would generally think feet when I'm talking about socks.
Yeah, nobody
Just me.
Nobody.
Goes on the calves too.
There's like a sticky side to the sock. You just slap it on your leg. Like apply generously.
Scott, I'll be over here while you do the show with these two guys.
Keep going, Jeff. So you got these JP2 socks on
They
your
were
legs.
awesome, and I kept like getting great compliments. And I remember reaching out to the guys from Catholic Creatives, and I said, if you can find any way for me to meet, I just called you Sock Religious. I didn't know you had a name.
Scott Religious.
Scott Religious for your feet. I was like, I want to meet this guy, and I get this whatever it is direct message intro on Facebook, and I'm like, we have to make this thing work. And you're like, I will with or without you.
That is awesome. Put him in his place right out of the gate.
You can't big time a big timer, Jeff.
We need to go back to the record and see what it actually says.
You know, I when I left Facebook, I pressed that button where it takes like 17 hours to like extract all your messages, mostly because that's the first place I ever messaged my wife.
Oh, cool.
So like
Aw.
hey, we're off a Facebook gift. I took all of them and bound them together, and it's real weird to read your old Facebook messages. You sound like a cheesy corn dog, but like
Well, some of us do.
all of us.
No, I know. It's all of us.
Anything you wrote when you were younger and in love sounds dumb when you're older and in love.
I'm glad
Agreed.
you finished it that way. That was
And even more in love.
Yes, there it is.
Fill it in.
Good save there on the end. That could have been bad.
Scott, why Sock Religious? What was that?
Like
And
how
if
did-
y'all didn't know this, what is Sock Religious, first of all?
Oh,
Let's
yeah,
go back.
It is the world's largest Catholic sock company.
That is awesome.
We're pretty sure.
You're just going to speak it into
we have
existence.
we have no data to back that up.
This is the funniest
But
podcast
you have no
that
data to
ever be.
refute it.
That's true. This is the funniest 3-person Catholic podcast in the history of the world.
Yep.
Yep.
But we're also putting that out there.
Yeah.
Only 3 people?
Well,
Well, three
Three
co-hosts.
plus guest.
the co-hosts with the mo-hosts.
We just lost our coveted status that we also recently gained.
I'll edit that out. Keep
No,
going.
no, keep that in there. My retort was fantastic.
It was actually. Scott, remember? Oh, my wife gave me feedback. Sometimes you guys don't let the guest speak.
Oh yeah, you probably should have told us that 7.5 minutes ago. But
Scott?
in this case, it would be feedback.
It is.
Oh.
We do require people to call it feedback. On
Do
their
you really?
service, yeah.
That's
I was just guessing.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
We have trained all of our customer service representatives to call it feedback.
That is
Yeah.
fantastic.
We have a feedback form. We have an all feet meeting.
Dude.
You name it.
I love
Why
the
would
use
you
of
have an all
puns.
hands meeting?
Yeah, so you're a punny guy. Like-
100%.
Has that always been the case?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
100%. Yep.
Like, is that a family form of love language or something? Like
No,
growing up? Or?
Just a gift from God.
Okay. You were the one aberrant person in your family.
I don't know. It just seemed to go with the brand. Like I mean, I do enjoy laughing. I enjoy puns. I don't think I ever had this level of like forcing myself to develop them, but it is definitely part of who we are as a company with the brand Sock Religious, and we have other brands too. And like some of them,
Sock Religious is a pun.
yeah,
Yeah. That's a great.
Actually, I knew that.
That's a great point, though, right?
No, it is. Yeah, the
Yeah.
brand name itself, sacrilegious, play on sacrilegious.
yeah,
Yeah,
It's
but-
definitely not sacrilegious to wear a Sock Religious.
Correct. There you go. You've already covered it.
Yeah, some
Yeah.
people get very upset about like us using that name.
Mm.
We had some people say the Beatitudes was a bad idea. We don't even know who they are anymore.
Yeah.
Well, anyways,
We
the-
excommunicated. No, we didn't.
He put his head on the mic. I just watched him. He just resigned.
I'll do it again.
there's not a penny there.
I'll do it again.
Well. So how did that become incorporated with your brand identity there? Like, how did you decide that I mean, I guess when you're making Catholic socks is like you want to have fun because it's a whole different way to.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a very serious product, right? Like it's not like a religious medal in the same way. It is a fun, lighthearted way to express yourself, right? So people wear, donut socks on National Donut Day or American. Like it's a fun way to express yourself in a professional setting or whatever it might be. So we thought, well, what the heck? What if we made saints on socks to be able to celebrate feast days instead of donut socks on National Donut Day?
Who's we in this story?
Me and my wife. So
Okay.
like we were kind of the people that came up with the original idea. My wife really thought it was, still a joke at the time. But if you know anything about me, like I'm 12 steps ahead in the process. And
Are you still laughing? Because I've already started an LLC.
exactly.
You got a pretty cool wife.
I already have a design. I've got it to the manufacturer. So I need to put it at the cart at this point. And
I need to find a cotton source.
it's pretty close.
Yeah.
But I was working full-time in Catholic youth ministry at the time. And if you know or have any friends that work in a ministry career, it's not the most lucrative career path. And we always knew that we would need some sort of side income or something in general. And I've always had an entrepreneurial mind in some way, shape, or form. And we thought, well, we know the Catholic audience. We know that nobody else is doing this. Let's give it a shot. So our very first, go to market was the National Catholic Youth Conference. We thought it would kind of hit that demographic.
What year are we talking here?
2017, November of 2017.
Okay.
So like the very end of 2017. Because November is the 11th month of 12 months.
Thank you for explaining that.
Yep.
We're an educational podcast as well, by
That
the way.
checks.
Put that in the show notes.
Yeah.
Please do.
It's a calendar.
Okay, but sorry. So, all right. So you said the National Catholic Youth Conference, NCYC as it's known.
Exactly. And it's in my backyard in Indianapolis. So,
Oh, okay.
And I was working at the Archdiocese at the time. And what actually ended up happening was I had a significant role in putting the conference on because that was part of my job. So what anybody would do, you'd say, Mom, Dad, can you please help me out? So they actually ran the booth for me.
Oh, nice.
And we sold out of socks in like 8 show hours. So we were selling a sock a minute for that period of time, and we were completely sold out of the product. And we said, all right, well, we've got something here. There is definitely a demand for this brand. And we kind of like honed in on that being Catholics that take their faith seriously, but not themselves. And that, I think that's kind of what this podcast is as well.
Well, that's what. Yeah,
Yeah, we definitely don't take ourselves seriously.
very good fit.
No, but
for
that's
us.
that's a cool way to brand it.
Your brand fits our legs well.
Yes.
Feet.
And
People wear socks on their feet.
it's part of your leg too.
Yeah.
If you want to get technical, I know way more about socks than you do. And
Oh, big timer.
Yes. All right.
Go.
the
More.
top part of the sock is called the leg.
Dang, brother.
Ooh.
So you
So
could
it's
have
like
leg
50-50. It's like
you could
it's
have
a foot and a leg
Yep.
covering.
What kind of socks are you wearing? Legless. They are no show.
So they're
Exactly.
elvish
So-
socks.
Elvish.
Legless.
Legless. They make you
socks.
super fast.
That was a stretch.
And
I don't know
immortal.
where we're at anymore.
Yeah, it's
We don't
somehow a movie meets the small table that we're sitting at. But
Yeah.
go back to your socks.
Yeah.
Tell us.
NCYC, huge hit.
Yeah, that was the origin story.
What'd you
And
do after you sold out? You sat there like telling people that you make socks.
We kind of put like a thing on the table that said, sorry, folks, the moose out front should have told you. And
You went vacation on them.
somewhat. I mean, we put like a link to our website and we said, hey, if you want to go buy socks, you buy it here. And people would do that. And then we would pre-order them.
You got behind the table and started knitting again.
Yeah. Yep,
Just put your own socks on the table.
exactly.
Here's some. That's what we're going to give
Gosh,
you
that-
later.
That's
That's
wild
awesome.
though. So that was your proof of concept
Yep,
moment to know
exactly.
that this will actually work.
That's such a good like entrepreneurial moment though, right? Like people think, oh, I'll just like invest all this money and they do it blindly and don't have any like market validation. Like, no. Like prove that there
Go
are
do it.
people actually want this thing first.
Right.
Before you like blow your life savings or do something silly.
Exactly. Yeah.
Your first designs were what?
The first one was Pope Francis.
Yep.
Going to the National Catholic Youth Conference, Pope Francis had just been elected not too long before that, and it was definitely a hit. John Paul II was our second one, and then we went for like more of like the classic feel of the Argyle pattern with the Keys to the Kingdom socks, which is just black socks with the the Pope keys.
Classy.
Yeah.
Pope keys, I think is a technical term.
Pope keys.
Yep.
Yeah. When did St. Joseph the Worker come out where he's holding baby Jesus?
Maybe 5 or 6. It was pretty early up there.
Those are like my ecumenical socks. If I'm like, I don't know where you're at, I'll give you some St. Joseph because he's
Yeah.
holding baby Jesus.
Exactly.
They look amazing. The bottom of it says what?
It has 2 quotation marks because that we usually put a quote on the bottom of the socks, but St. Joseph never said anything in the Bible. So
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Just quotation marks.
Yes,
That's
exactly.
pretty
awesome.
cool.
Dude, I feel like every time I'm with you, I knew that one, but like we rolled out some socks earlier for, I don't know, hangout time. And you were able to show me so many like hidden gems in
Yeah.
your socks.
St. Joseph also has some cool nuggets on there, like the Argyle pattern, which is like the crisscrosses, but they also have carpenter squares in every corner. So
Oh my goodness.
Nice.
Amazing.
Why don't you just have like an inside baseball, like people pay to listen to you talk about your socks and the legs and
like
your
I'm
own
a beata
legs.
dude.
Yeah. That's right, dude.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. When let's talk about the Beatitude socks for a second. What we know what this color is. We know what we're gonna come out. Like, what do we need to do to like launch this?
You need to. So our custom program usually starts at 250 socks.
Oh, they were gonna say $250,000.
No.
250 pairs,
You need to
to be clear, right?
Okay.
Not 250
Yeah,
individual
so
socks.
All we need is demand for 250
250
pairs right now, and we will put in the order.
Oh yeah.
Exactly.
And we could put Jeff's face on the bottom.
Because I put the team on my face.
With open and close quotes, because Jeff is known for never talking.
Yeah.
And Nick and we could have our faces on the legs of the socks. As
We love the legs.
Exactly. Why not?
I think this sock sounds something.
I think we're into something here. Yeah.
Awesome.
Very.
Yes.
We have a direction that we may want to head.
That was the most aggressively non-committal response.
Speaking
I've
of
ever-
heads, we can put our heads on them.
Oh yeah, we can do heads instead of our full legs. Oh, what if you put my legs on the legs?
Oh gosh.
No.
Just step and repeat legs.
Nobody needs to see that.
Well, I mean, a big part of the show is that you're touching two people's legs right now with your legs. So that is a part of the Beatitudes.
There are molds of your legs out there.
Yeah, and if you're, yeah, I ship those to people. But if you want to be like truly part of the experience, like let's say you're listening to the show right now, you can look down and
Which you
don't
are.
wear shoes, see our faces on the top, and have our legs on your legs, and you'll be like, oh, it's like being a guest of the show. We tracking?
Yes. Sorry, I kind of zoned out there for a sec. I was just going to let you do your thing.
If you
Sorry.
drank a Beata brew, it would make sense to you.
Yeah. Which we still need to get back with Celestial about. But anyway.
There's a lot of things going on here.
Yeah.
You finish that first conference. What happens that turns a side project into now something way beyond socks? Like, let's pull the thread here.
Yeah.
I said
Yeah,
that. Yeah, thank
did
you.
that. Yeah, that's good.
Tune in on YouTube to watch Jeff's big goofy face.
Where he holds
when
his
he's-
breath.
When he was so proud of himself for that one. But Scott, please take it away.
Yes.
Yeah. So right now we are five years later, and we have kind of rebranded in some capacities that Catholic Concepts is the umbrella company that Soccer Religious is then a brand under. We'd like to say, like, you know, if we started a tie company 10 years ago, we'd probably be out of business if it was a Catholic tie company. And we always know socks are always going to be a core product of what we do, but our ideas, thought process, and everything else that kind of goes into who we are as an organization, we've got so many more great ideas that fit into that Catholic demographic that aren't just socks. And Soccer Religious, the name kind of puts us into a corner of
Sure.
a particular product, but also like that fun, goofy brand that we talked about as well. So the idea of Catholic Concepts, right now we have 4 other brands that live under that kind of umbrella, and they all serve different demographics within the niche Catholic market. So
Nice.
Soccer Religious is obviously a fun, lighthearted brand, but we have other brands that, you know, serve other areas as well.
What about the t-shirt? Go ahead.
Oh, I just was going to ask, so when did it go from just socks to then, oh, well, we can actually kind of blossom into this whole concept?
Yeah, so a lot of Catholic companies have great ideas, but don't always have the execution to get to where they need to be in a business sense.
Got it.
And that's something that we, quite frankly, are pretty good at. Like we really harness all of our energy as far as it goes to manufacturing, pick, pack, ship. When we leverage a lot of those things to our advantage, And there was one particular company that That One Sheep, which is a T-shirt brand that had awesome designs. It was incredible, and it fit with our personality. It was basically puns with images of saints on them.
Nice.
And the founder of that company, who did all the graphic design, his name was Weston. He loved the graphic design piece, but he didn't love the business aspect of it. And he just kind of shut his business down. He turned the website off. It was just too much for him to handle. And I reached out to him. I said, man, your stuff is just too good not to exist in the Catholic market. Let's figure out a deal to make this work where you win, we win, and your product still exists in the market. So that was kind of the starting point of that. And that really did fit into the Sacrilegious brand because they were witty, they were punny, they fit with everything else that we're doing. But there's a lot of great products out there that don't necessarily fit into that brand too. So we really hope to have multiple brands, help people like come under the Catholic Concepts family of brands, if you will, and use our distribution, our marketing arm, our manufacturing strength, and get them into the market with the value and the dignity that they truly deserve.
For $1 million, y'all can own a podcast. That's what I heard on the street. It's kind of a hush-hush deal. But what about on the That One Sheep T-shirts?
Yeah.
Do you have what is your favorite and why?
I'm just a big St. Joseph fan in general. So the St. Joseph one it says work hard, pray hard. That's the basics of it, and has St. Joseph the worker on it.
Catches people off guard. They think this is all about playing. It's about praying. You know what? I have that one. I love it. I have it in 2 colors, brother. Yeah, I'm like just frequent flyer on That One Sheep. But my favorite is St. Juan Diego's opening up the tilma. Here comes Our Lady of Guadalupe, and it says, and then I saw her face. Now I'm a believer. And I'm like,
good.
I mean, it doesn't sing. I sing, but it says those words.
It'd be funny though.
Your brain fills in the
you like open the
music and
tilma and
lyrics.
then
Dude, make a shirt where you can actually open the tilma. And then I saw her face. Now I'm a believer.
it's like the kids' cards.
If we haven't lost everybody at this
You're
point.
still with us. Give yourself a point.
Yes. Christopher, can you give all of our audience a point? That'd be great.
They're getting good points these days. They've
Yeah.
worked hard.
So generous.
Can I take a break here and maybe we actually find out who's else going to get some points today?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
All right. So what are we doing here, Nicholas?
This is called Blessed Are the Joke Makers, for they shall inherit the 63 points.
63. I'm going to write that down. That gives me
That's a
inspiration.
bigger number this time. All right. Yeah. Well, so for those of you who don't know, the way this works, we've got a character card that we brought from an improv game, and then the Catholic card game card that has some sort of prompt. And so then we have to assume, we have to assume the persona on the character card.
Assume a persona. That's my part.
Yeah, no. Okay. So we got the character card, and then we've got to answer as that character the Catholic card game prompt. So
I feel like this is weird, though, because we have an expert punist.
Ooh. So do we want him to
Punisher. No, he needs to judge, but I just feel like we all got to just
It's a good point.
put some pressure on yourself. To
Remind yourself.
Oh, yeah.
Probably some.
I feel like Professional Paul's going to come out.
Yeah.
Slapstick Shufflebine and Beware Besner.
Bottom of the barrel Besner.
Well, bewilderingly, Besner somehow bullies his way into
beating all of us.
big points.
Bully Besner. Big points Besner.
He plays the victim card all the time. I don't know how to do this. Oh, 63 points. 60, yeah, here you go.
Every time a priest's here, he's just like, I don't know.
Father,
Lord have
forgive
mercy.
me.
Yeah. All right. So here we go.
I'm good at this.
Here's the character.
You're about to find
I'm
out.
Nick Besner.
The character is a bothersome braggart. Or,
What does that mean?
The one-upper is in parentheses.
Oh, gosh. I
Okay.
literally couldn't figure out what the other one meant.
Braggart.
Braggart is not a name
I think I
I've
said
ever-
it wrong. Braggart.
You can say it however you want. That
A
word doesn't
braggart.
compute for me. But
Okay, a bothersome braggart.
The one-upper.
Yeah, the one-upper. You have to answer the prompt of what priests really want to talk about in their homilies.
That's not right. What priests really want to talk about in their homilies is all this stuff that's going on in Haiti. That's when you start talking, but you don't know what you're going to say.
Yeah, no, way to go.
I'll just leave it there.
That's not right. What priests really want to talk about in their homily is how they're better than you.
That's actually what they. That would be an incredible homily. You sinners, I've been listening to you. I don't have any of y'all's problems.
I wouldn't normally say that, but because they're a one-upper.
No, you nailed it. You're in it.
Yeah,
not
my
hating.
name's Father Chad, and I just want to talk about how I get every homily done in under 7 minutes. Nobody falls asleep, and then everybody thanks me profusely afterwards for dispensing wisdom.
That's what happens during that homily.
Yes, exactly.
Thanks, Father Chad. Father Chad, we were lost without you. You know, I thought I was doing pretty good in church, and then Father Chad came along, and he's doing better.
One of my priest friends, he said that this lady came up to him after mass and said, "Father, that was the best homily I ever heard you give."
Oh,
The deacon preached.
If you're not Catholic, those are two different people. Scott, did I win the prize? Nope. Do you know what's going on in Haiti? And who won?
Paul Hare.
Paul won. So, oh wait, laughter, cheers. I
There we
already
go.
gave the cheers.
thank you.
Sorry.
Paul,
I might be
Sorry.
catching up to Nick. I might be. He's got tons of points.
Nipping at my heels.
Yeah.
it's
So did you get 63 points, or do we wait till the end?
He
got 63 points
good,
unless
good,
he
good.
wants to give them to others out of charity.
A tithe might be appropriate, but
You know,
Oh, okay.
ooh,
Okay, 10% of your
a
points.
Catholic tie company is what you were going to start, right?
Was I?
Give us a tie right now.
I said tithe.
no, I said tithe.
Oh, I missed it. I'm the button pusher. Hey, so for being a celebrity judge on our show, you get to hear about your own company, sockreligious.com, which is
Good, please.
How cool is that?
super important to us.
Tell me more.
This feels awkward. If you want to spend less money on socks than you would if you went straight to Scott, you can go to sockreligious.com/beatitudes. Is this okay to share?
Sure.
All right. I mean, we have tens and tens of listeners that are buying socks by the ones, twos.
They're nipping at our heels.
Ooh. You keep me on my toes really well, Paul.
Thank you.
So anyways, thank you for being an official sponsor, but more than anything, thanks for being a friend. And for that, we're actually going to head out to break by listening to some kids sing the Beatitudes song. Those are my kids right there. Hey y'all, this is Jeff Scheffelbein. When Nick and I set out to start our new company, Undivided Life, we were really concerned about how would we cover the healthcare needs of our growing families, and we were so excited to find a company that fit both our medical needs and our faith beliefs perfectly. It's called Solidarity Health Share. It is an ethical alternative to traditional health insurance. We're never part of sharing in the medical costs of anything that goes against the teachings of the Catholic Church, making it a great alternative for Catholics and Christians alike. Solidarity is very affordable, which is perfect for a large family or for a new and growing business like the one we've started. So visit joinsolidarity.com today so that you can get started with us.
Let me tell you about Decided Excellence magazine. Decided Excellence is a great resource reaching thousands of families in your local community. They've got original content featuring local families and notable theologians like Scott Hahn. If you're looking to grow in a specific way, they can be a great partner for that as well. They partner with thousands of parishes creating parish magazines. If you're a business owner, Decided Excellence can be a great way to advertise to homeowners right there in your backyard. And if you're looking to earn a little bit of extra income, Decided Excellence has a partnership program where you can become the owner and publisher of your local magazine. So partner with Decided Excellence and begin growing together today.
Hi, it's Paul Kolker from the Beatitudes here, and I just wanted to share with you guys that I also, outside of the show, perform improv comedy on a regular basis with a group called Divine Comedy. So what we do is we come up with everything on the spot, so whether you're looking for faith-filled, fun, family-friendly comedy for your youth night, or whether you're looking for clean comedy for your corporate event, Divine Comedy can perform for your group and even get you in on the action. So if you'd like to hire us to come out and perform for your next event, check out DivineComedyImprov.com. Divine Comedy, an inferno of fun.
Welcome back, everybody. We are here with Scott Williams, founder and CEO, co-founder and CEO of Sacrilegious.
Way to bring in the wife there.
That's right.
Yes.
And in the first segment there, you mentioned you could have started a Catholic tie company.
I could have.
Probably would have been a bad idea because people don't really wear that many ties anymore.
1, 2, 3.
Touche.
It made me think of when was the last time I was wearing ties frequently. Really in college, I wore a lot of ties, like interviews and on buses with formal date parties and things like that.
The buses part threw me off. Like, let's go get on a bus. I'm all dressed up.
So going to like formals, semi-formals, that sort of thing.
Your brain works in backwards just then.
Buses are great.
And so I heard you have a fun story to share about bus rides, and I'm curious to know more.
Bus
Wow.
rides.
Well, hold on. Credit for like setup of the year.
How about
almost. I
that?
didn't even
That
see
was-
that coming.
I know you didn't
That was
see
a
that coming.
good hard left turn there. That was great.
Yeah, that in the bus is hard to do. Scott.
A buddy of mine was just at a Segway convention, and they had really good transitions.
Scott Williams, ladies and gentlemen.
Star power.
He'll be here all the next 15 minutes.
Are we talking about my college bus? Is that what we're...
Let's go for it. I told him that you had a bus. Unless you have another bus story that I don't know about.
Yeah, are there
Like, this seems
series
like
of
you
buses?
Okay, so in college, my buddies and I, we decided that we would purchase a 1987 66-passenger Bluebird.
Let's go.
It was for sale for $1,200.
Okay.
That sounds safe.
It only caught fire once.
I would have taken the over on that.
But it turned out to be a really great opportunity because, in college, sometimes people drink alcoholic beverages.
I do.
And especially a lot of people were turning 21. I was the most responsible one in the group, or at least I like to think that I was. So I ended up being the bus driver most of the time, but we clear out every seat in this bus. We put a couple of couches in it. We'd take it to Colts games for, tailgating. We would go to skiing trips. There was a bar in the back. We painted it all black. We put a window air conditioner out the emergency exit of the vehicle.
Amazing.
no.
Wait, do you have to have a special driver's license?
So what we did is we turned it into a recreational vehicle. We actually had a state trooper come out and say, this is no longer a school bus. This is a recreational vehicle. And we had a change of title and technically with an RV, you don't need a CDL.
you just need a bar in the back of the school bus. that
For
used to-
21-year-olds.
Yeah.
Yeah, did you have to get like TABC clearance for that bar?
I
the
don't know
T
what
is
that means.
Texas.
Oh.
The T stands
T
for
is
Texas.
Texas.
Oh, yeah. He's in a different state. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Indianapolis.
Yep. Okay.
Is
You
not a
guys
state either, right? Is
I mean,
Indianapolis a state?
It was.
It's
So
it's
close.
in a
It's
different
so
state.
close.
Texas.
Still starts with an I.
But it wasn't something we did commercially, so it was just
Yeah,
friends
yeah.
hanging out. And
Nice.
It was a safe way to get from point A to B, just like a carpooling service that I once knew.
That's a great.
Basically, you and I had the same impact.
You and I did the exact same thing. You would one at a time take care of a group of friends that had a rowdy time, and I exhausted myself trying to make up for bad mistakes. Very similar. Hold on now. So, would you switch out who was the driver? You were always the driver. What was that?
I was mostly the driver. Yeah.
Is that just like out of a servant's heart?
I got into a little bit of trouble myself at some point in
Yeah.
life, and I took a period of time where I just said, okay, I'm not going to drink for a while.
Y'all get in trouble. I'll drive you to it.
I will make sure you don't get in trouble, at least driving the vehicle.
Or parking it, because it sounds like for $1,200 it probably didn't always work.
The
The fire.
fire was one time, and then another time it fell apart on the side of the road.
Fell apart.
Fell apart.
That sounds like a cartoon.
Yeah. ding, 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 ding,
all,
ding,
all
ding.
four wheels simultaneously.
The engine fell apart internally. And we decided that we would no longer fix it. And
You just walk home. Like, that was a bus.
That was the end of the bus. That was a cool story. $1,200, well spent.
Light a match. Walk away as it explodes behind you.
Don't look
Nice.
back.
Yeah.
Just throw it.
Slow mo.
yeah,
Turn it into sand.
That's my story about Sodally Tober the bus.
Sodally Tober.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah, that one. That one's ringing through people's ears right now. Totally Tober the bus.
That's what the kids named it.
That's an awesome story.
The kids. Well, you're an entrepreneur through and through. It's
Indeed.
obvious in many ways. So we actually have our TBD question that we're going to read for today, and everybody participates at home and along on the show. So that includes all four of us. But the question today is, what would you create or build if money was not an object? So what would you create or build, service, product, you name it, if money was not an object? Does anybody want to jump in first? Throw their socks in the ring, if you will.
Okay. Yep. So my socks, throw those in the ring.
Amazing.
Literally had no idea. You took your socks off. I didn't even know you were going to say.
Mwah. Did that earlier.
What?
They've been off for like a good 15 minutes.
This explains so much about this show.
I was just waiting for an opportunity, but thanks for setting me up. Literally,
Amazing.
threw my socks on the table,
You
which
did it.
Scott threw up in his mouth a little bit, but it's all good.
Yeah, it's okay. It's perfect.
But yeah, actually, I'll jump in. So although mine might be maybe practical in the near term, hopefully we'll see. I mean, but if money was no object, what I'd really like to do is build a production company for filmmaking and all kinds of commercial type stuff specifically for faith-based stuff. But even more like, there's that whole, Catholic creatives we've talked about multiple times, but they did the short films. It was 8 Beats, I think is what it was called,
right.
which was for the Beatitudes. I don't know if you realized that or knew that connection, but it was the 8 Beatitudes.
Oh, 8 Beats.
Yeah. Yeah, so each
I just don't know what the word Beatitudes means.
Well, yeah, no, we've co-opted that. But
Yes,
so each of the films, it was 8 films, and each of them had to be centered around one of the Beatitudes. I have to really focus on saying that the right way now.
It sounds weird.
Right? Yeah. And they were beautiful films, and I don't know how they went about, the process of fundraising and all of that, because I was still kind of new to the creative world myself, at least in a very intentional way. I had always done performances and whatever, those kinds of things on stage, but not where I was the one trying to make it myself. So having made a short film recently within the last year, knowing what all goes into that and trying to actually produce it, get the right camera crew and equipment and all of that, it would be awesome to have just kind of a lean production house that was, just all the right pieces that you need to either do a good looking interview so you could do some documentary style stuff, or, again, like narrative short or narrative feature, whatever, but like really try to build culture from where it's going to meet people, which these days is
I want us to find a way to make money not an object, because I want you to do that.
Yeah, just do it.
Yeah, okay, I need to talk to the guy who did that with a sock company. Yeah.
It sounds to me like that's a Catholic concept.
Scott. Fancy.
You're only here to make something happen for one or all of us.
That is not true. I just wanted to interview you, but also if you want to help me with that. No, I'm just kidding.
Yes.
That's pretty awesome.
You got one? Money's no object for you. You got the sock empire.
Yeah, totally. Just flush with cotton. So honestly, like the big, hairy, audacious goal of, and this isn't like a public thing, but it's something I'm really excited about. It's something that I feel like God's actually putting on.
It's about to be public.
It's about to be public because it's going out to tens and tens
Of people.
Relatives.
A relatively small audience.
Ah.
I call it Catholic Main Street, and think about not like necessarily a city, but a town, and it's a manufacturing town, and I want to own a city that is Catholic focused, that the church and the sacraments are the center of it. It has living spaces. It has basic restaurants, bars, grills, brewery. It has a manufacturing facility for all the things that we currently do and things into the future. It has a production studio. It has content. It has all the things that, kids go to Steubenville for, and then they don't know what to do next.
Yep.
I want it to be to go to Indianapolis and go to Catholic Town, USA, and start your career. It could be an incubator for great ideas. It can be something that gets things off the ground, but part of Catholic Concepts as a whole becomes this idea of a physical place where things happen.
Yeah. And I think
It's
if you're looking for names, I think just to leverage what you've already launched, just call it Socksdale. Socksdale, Indiana. There's very few things named after socks. So anytime you go after socks, you're in a good spot.
We've got leverage there.
Yeah. Certainly you can be first to market in a lot of
It'll be
socky
really good
things.
naming, like, just like Beatted Dudes, where it's like, did you mean Scottsdale? Like, no.
I don't think I can find this.
This doesn't actually exist.
Recalculating.
Okay,
That's
Nicholas.
awesome. Yeah. I was thinking as this came up, I was thinking, Beatitudes, authentic fraternity. Wouldn't it be cool if? I love that. Like, play that game for a minute and just like, wouldn't it be cool if? I was like, what if there was a cool like thing, thinking like leaning into authentic fraternity and brotherhood and a cool like vacation destination or like resort retreat in the mountains for men as like a way to like come together in this like
Yes. Yeah.
yes and just like
My answer is
you have
yes.
a mountain retreat and there's water sports and Jesus and like that's the concept.
I even like that name, Water Sports and Jesus.
I know when I wrote that down, I was
Love
like,
it.
Jeff is gonna love this.
Jet skiing for Christ.
Yes.
Yeah. Watch me do this jump.
Check out this
Hail
triple
Mary.
backflip.
Yeah. Watch me hit this drive.
Sounds like a Chris Paisley country song.
What are we doing? Everything in one song.
Water sports and Jesus. There's something there.
Triple backflips on a jet ski.
Slalom skiing, soccer man. Say me slalom skiing anymore. That's like an old thing. Okay, so
I've
that's
done
awesome.
it.
Yeah,
I'm not.
I've done it. Yeah.
I'm.
If I did it
Millennial.
now, the show would be over. I would be done.
What do you got?
So thank you for getting me back on track. One, I've told you before, I just love acai bowls. I'd make a place where the acai bowls are always good and never bad. And I think that for some reason, it's always like a rice roll, a dice roll whenever you go into.
Doling out the rice.
But my real answer is that I wish, and I'm talking about like uber amounts of money. So that's why I'm going big here. I would reimagine the entire foster care system from the kids to the families that are adopting, to the agencies, to the support, to the education, to the offset. I would make foster care this extremely seamless, empowering, like no-brainer choice that even the kids in foster care are nourished and flourished by that system. And I think what I'm saying is in its own right impossible, and that's why I go there. It's like, wouldn't that be incredible if you could just make that happen? So, yeah, that's
Love
me.
Good
I just got all
answer.
choked up. Okay,
Very
so Scott,
Mm-hmm.
I actually want to keep with this theme because we finish every show differently than we start any. Nope, that's not right. Than any other show. Every show we do on Monday is different finish than every other show.
Correct.
How am I doing on this?
You're nailing it.
Yeah. And so it's called Reverse Simpsons because the Simpsons start every episode differently. We finish every other episode differently.
do that.
And so we have a prompt for ourselves here, and you get to be the judge. We're actually going to give out some more points here. Why don't we make this one, let's up the ante here.
Okay.
All right, let's make it 16 points.
I was going to say 64.
No.
16 is good.
16.
Yeah,
I
a lot
like
of times these
16.
are one-pointers because you even got a
Oh,
half
I
point
like
on the
that.
score
Yeah, that's a good
sheet.
point.
And this comes from this moment.
That's a good
So
point.
let's do 16 and a
16.
half points here.
Okay.
Maybe that way you can even out your half.
Thank
there.
you.
You got to award it to somebody, but we are going to pitch you on new ideas of what Catholic concepts / sacrilegious could launch. And your judging is by whatever like barometer makes sense to you. Funny, punctual, actual. Punctual is a funny one. That was a punctual answer.
So
Right on
timely.
time. Yeah.
Okay, your time is here now. Paul, show how punctual you are. What are you pitching?
It's great grammar.
Who's up first?
Paul.
Oh, it's me. All right. So I thought, keeping in this Catholic concepts world, right? You've got sacrilegious, so why not branch out just slightly and come up with snack religious? Right. So
Ooh,
it's
yum.
like mixed nuts and stuff like that. Things you like airport type snacks, right? And you could almost serve them like in the same kind of container, at least where the top is basically the same part of like the leg of the sock. right? And it's so it's got like saints and stuff on them. So you basically keep the same designs, but then just apply it to like a plastic wrapper kind of thing. And you can say, have whichever snacks you choose, but it's spell it CHEWS.
Oh, yeah.
And when it's 16.5 on the line, Paul comes.
That was
blazing.
big.
Yeah.
That was big.
We'll pray about that one.
Yes.
That sounds like
Wow.
a pacifying response.
I don't think he's like that into it. I think we got a chance still, Jeff.
What do you got, Nick?
I got something here in my
You
bag.
brought something. Oh
Wait,
my goodness.
what?
Props.
You can do props.
You know, Nick
No,
is
I
the
don't.
guy
Rules.
who he reads the rules by reading what's not in the rules.
I love it.
So this is just inspiration, but imagine
If you will.
Ooh, okay. So what do we got?
Hawaiian shirt
Yes.
as a new product line.
Get closer.
Sorry, Hawaiian shirts as a new product line.
Okay.
So this is one of my favorite Hawaiian shirts.
Yeah.
In college, we had what we called Hawaiian Shirt Fridays,
Yeah.
and it was just what's better than Friday afternoon rolling into class late with a shirt that's, mostly for 2 generations ahead of you. And so as you think about your core audience, a lot of guys out there, and I thought, put our faces on it, Beatitudes branded Hawaiian shirts, like
Aloha.
Aloha
Yeah.
Profit.
Aloha.
Aloha profit.
Well, yeah, because you don't laugh that loud, so it's just aloha.
Ooh.
I said aloha.
Oh, I didn't hear you. I'm so sorry.
That's all right.
There's a lot of stuff jumping around here. All right, let's take it back to the Big Island here for your last
That's
and
another
final.
very good idea.
Very good, yeah, very good. So I don't have good ideas. I have lots of ideas, and something happens when I share them.
Buckshot approach.
Kill something. My first one is I would like to take the image that you have of St. Augustine on your socks, and I want to put it on a piece of plastic with these different holes in it, screwed
Okay.
onto the wall, and it will become socket religious. And socket religious is to set our hearts on fire and to electrify our
Faith.
Oh, like the
things like a socket.
I was thinking
A
like
socket cover.
sockets like
Oh, I'm not done. That one too.
I
Sure.
keep going.
Add that one in. I'll take credit for that one. My next one came to me while you were talking earlier. I think you actually should do a Catholic Thai company, but it's just Thai food. And I don't know what to do with that, but you can figure it out. You're smarter than me.
It's for marathoners, Catholic marathoners, and you say tagline is "Thai goes to the runner."
Oh, I was talking about eating Thai
Yes,
food.
yes.
No, I know, but you
Oh,
give
they
Thai.
get the Thai. You finish a marathon and you're like, give me some freaking
Thai food.
noodles like, covered in soy sauce.
Yeah, Thai
Yes.
goes to, or maybe for
Baseball.
Catholic baseball
Yeah.
players would be better. Yes, there we go. I was
Thai
getting there.
Tigers.
Yeah, nobody's ever said that in a marathon, but that's okay.
Yeah.
I just like the idea that I
You
finished.
guys both win.
I'm 26
You both
miles
ran.
in. You give me a Thai, and I start munching down on some heavy rice. That's
Carb loading.
awesome. They do carb load after. My last one is if you want to multiply your.
Do you get multiple? Do you guys want to
No, you have to pick.
give
Oh,
another
no,
shot?
no. I do whatever I feel like.
Ain't that the truth?
My last one. This is just we're popcorning here for points.
Yeah.
Is if you are looking to multiply your talents, then head on over to Stock Religious, where we help you to put your money in a place that is morally sound and great for your bank account.
So
Aquinas Wealth Advisors. Chris McMahon.
Nice sponsorship there.
Yeah, previous
Yeah.
episode.
But Stock Religious is really great.
No,
like it.
what about you source your own cotton from shepherding yourself? Like you own the
Ooh.
sheepfolds, and so you
Yes.
call it flock religious.
I am the gate.
Oh,
Ah.
yes, see? Yes, there it is.
All right, how are we feeling about these
Looks
ideas?
like I'm out.
I know. I like
How are we feeling right now about 16.5 points? I'm just curious how you're feeling.
Jeff, you get it for volume.
Well, in that case, put saints on timepieces and call it clock religious.
You could also just tell us to stop religious and we'll just move on. We're just going to, this is like the Beatitudes. You can say anything and then the word religious and it applies to him.
Yeah, it's true.
Hey, I want to brag about something. So stick around for the bonus episode. Comes out on Friday because we are going to be unveiling. This is a big moment for you. Some
Yeah.
new socks that, of course, everybody on your listserv is going to see. But the Beatitudes are also going to see it for some of their early release socks. One of them doesn't even have the price tag on it yet. So we'll have to figure out how much that one's worth. But we're looking forward to that part. Can you tell us real quick about the great news about your manufacturing and this process of your first socks completely outsourced to today, and then we'll close it out from there.
Yeah. So we, how much time do I have?
It's clock religious, so you do whatever you need to do.
Cool. We used to outsource all of our manufacturing, and it worked. It was fine. It wasn't we weren't exactly satisfied with the highest of quality. We wanted to really kind of hone that in. When COVID hit, we really saw the state of global logistics become just unpredictable.
Yeah.
It got wild.
Yeah, and especially when we rely on the vast majority of our revenue to be during the gifting season, not knowing when our socks were going to come in from the Port of Los Angeles is quite frankly terrifying. So we were looking for ways to shore up our manufacturing process, and it just so happened that there was a place, less than 45 minutes away from where we operate from that was indeed a sock manufacturer that was basically doing the opposite that we were doing. So we decided, all right, if there was a time on the face of the planet.
Were they making bad socks?
No, they were just, they outgrew like the ability
to. I thought they were making socks that were antithetical to your socks.
No.
The seven deadly sins.
They were doing more outsourcing, closing down their domestic manufacturing.
I should pay better attention.
And so I kind of pulled out every single networking card that I had in my Rolodex and said, okay, how can I get to the right person to see, can I buy these machines and can I hire people that made socks? And in Indianapolis, Indiana, or even Indiana in general, that's not a common thing. Most of textile manufacturing happens in North Carolina, Northern Alabama, things like that. So it's kind of just on a whim that this place existed. And we ended up saying, all right, let's see if we can take a run at this. And we were just looking to shore it up and ended up owning the manufacturing process. And now we own 10 knitting machines. We hired 4 guys that all that they've done their entire life is this trade, that they lost their trade, and now they got it back, and they work for us now. And
starting in July 2023, all socks manufactured by Sock Religious, they're made by you.
All socks that we even sell. So we still had a lot of stuff that was in our warehouse that we bought too much of. It had been on since between Memorial Day, and July 4th. We did a 75% off sale on anything that was left from overseas manufacturing, and got rid of almost everything. And July 4th, we decided everything's going the
made
things
in
that
house.
We made
in America.
In Indianapolis, Indiana.
So cool.
20 feet from where I work.
That's incredible. Well, it is where you work.
20 feet from where I sit is a machine that makes a sock.
Gosh, that's awesome. All right, incredible. America, except for the 4 of you in Australia, you heard it here. Sock Religious is employing and creating American Catholic socks, right?
Yeah.
Even if you're international, the quality has gone up.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right, well, we can't wait to talk with you on the bonus show coming up shortly. For most of you that are listening on Monday, we release a show on Friday. And with that, we just want to say we can't wait to see your socks in mass right now. What socks are you wearing right now?
Right now, I got Joan of Arc.
Sir?
I was wearing Our Lady of Guadalupe.
They ended up on the table. And I'm wearing St. Dominic. It hurts sometimes, but that's what it's all about. I also want to come back and hear about socks stories that aren't about the socks. We will see the rest of you in the Eucharist. God bless you.
Thanks for tuning in. If you'd like to join us at our undersized table, subscribe to the video version of the show on YouTube by typing @ that's the symbol @ so shift and 2 on your keyboard, @ the _ Beatitudes on YouTube. We'll see you there.
This podcast is part of the Spoke Street Network. For more great podcasts, visit spokestreet.com.